Diego, welcome to this the success webinar today. I was just kind of getting by here explaining some of our done-for-you buyer ad options. Why don't we start, and I'm going to let you, as a nice transition from there, do you want to talk a little bit about Property Boost, which we just launched, which is becoming sort of a big hit?
Yeah, definitely. Property Boost has kind of been the big surprise that we weren't expecting. I mean, we always hoped that it would do the things that it's doing, but I think we are generally surprised by its performance and its success and how much agents who are using it love it. So Core Property Boost essentially comes in two different ways. We do offer a way for an enterprise client to come in and purchase a contract that will automatically boost all properties within a certain criteria. So we specify property type, we specify min and max price, and any brokerage listing that comes in that matches that criteria, we automatically will boost it for the contracted time. So we can set, how many days is it, what's the ad spend and everything there. So we set up all of that on an enterprise level. We also have the ability for agents to go in and individually boost their own listings. It only goes listing by listing right now, but you go into Property Boost, you select your listing, and you select a duration. You have a duration of 1 week to 5 weeks with their specified cost structure. You enter your credit card information and you click Boost. It's a fairly smooth process, and so as far as like the structure around Property Boost, that's about it. What Property Boost will then do is it will boost that listing on Facebook. We target based on the geo of the listing. With the changes that have come on with Facebook's I don't know what the legal term is, but
Targeting.
Essentially, yeah. So essentially, we'll be in the future targeting a circumference around the listing of about 15 miles. And Ryan can probably talk you through the benefits of that. One of which is it gets a lot of attention from the sellers' friends and neighbors, which is a really great tool because all sellers want to know that their realtor is spending money and advertising for them. So it makes it a great seller tool in that case. And Ryan, if you have anything to add there.
So Property Boost, one of the big things, of course, is that it uses the Facebook lead ads. We get a lot of questions like, what's the difference between a regular Facebook boost and Property Boost? And it's that process with that form popping up in stream that is kind of cumbersome to set up. We're doing it all via API here, push button. And the advantage is you get a real name, email, cell number of a neighbor, about half the time probably a homeowner close to that listing who is kind of curious. Another thing, Diego, I'm sure you're seeing this too, is people will tag their friends and say, hey, I want you to move closer to me, check out this listing, right? So it's just a really nice kind of push button, simple way to get leads coming in your dashboard. I had an error pop up here before because I was in like a demo account that wasn't attached. Probably freaked you out, Diego.
But for 2 seconds, I pulled up my Slack, pull a developer in. So
no, I was on a weird like demo account. So basically, what you do is you just go in, you enter a property address to boost. Man, I wish I knew one off the top of my head. But you type the address in and you just choose the duration. You can start at $60 and get a week's worth of boosting. And for my money, this is the quickest, most efficient way to build your database, whether you're an agent or you're at the enterprise level and you want to get your more virtual signs in the ground for your entire brokerage, right? You want your brand out there more. I've been telling everybody Boost is probably the way to go. Did I do okay on that, Diego?
Yeah, that's perfect. Just to give you a heads up on some really cool reporting that comes along with Property Boost. I had a conversion agent who like right when we launched, she messaged me and she said, hey, we have this email that goes out to the seller that will let them know, hey, your agent has boosted your listing on Facebook and this is how much traffic it's drawing. And so like day one, she goes in, she tries it, and her seller wasn't getting the email, and she shot me an email personally and said, hey, look, this was the only reason that I wanted Property Boost. I just needed the seller to know that I was actively working for them, and this is a great way for me to do that. And so we do have a lot of reporting that goes along with Property Boost. So let me just kind of name a couple. So we have the daily traffic report that goes out to the seller. We have the initial email that goes out to the agent who's using Property Boost and letting them know, hey, it's successfully boosted. And then they get daily emails as well. There will be a notification at the end of the duration that pops up and says, hey, your boost is coming to an end. Do you want to reboost it? There is also an office and company admin boost notification that goes out and says, hey, within your office or within your company, your brokerage, these are how many boosts have been listed, or I'm sorry, how many listings have been boosted. This is how many leads have been generated. So there's a lot of reporting that's going along with Property Boost, so we can, at every level let you know how these boosts are doing. So
Right, and that's one of the biggest pieces of feedback that consumers give is I don't have enough communication with my with my agent. They weren't communicating enough, and especially on the listing side, it's easy to forget to check in once a week and say, hey, here's what we did. We had no showings. In this case, you've got some automation doing that for you, emailing the seller to show what's going on. So
yeah. And we also just launched seller text. So if you include the seller's information for email and text, they'll also get text notifications as well.
Awesome. Okay, so Property Boost, I don't want this to come off, Diego, as a sales pitch, but as my role with the advertising department, I answer a lot of questions about how to get people into the dashboard. And I think that this is good information people have strategically. If you do want more buyer and seller leads, meaning homeowners in your database that you're incubating for the long term, I just wanted to take a few minutes here to really stress that Property Boost is available and worth trying out. So thanks, Diego.
Yeah, definitely. Property Boost has been awesome.
Yeah. So let's move on a little bit. You had the original idea here. I know you've been working on something called the Agent Fire Spark sites. Am I saying the right thing?
Yep, that's totally right.
Now, would I be able to kind of give you control, or do you want me to go to a specific URL to go to an example of that and show everybody what we're up to?
Yeah, no, give me the keys. I'll drive.
Okay, cool. So let me change presenter. Diego. Okay, you should have it in a second. And I'll preface this while Diego gets going. Basically, these Spark sites come out of one of the most frequent requests we get, and is I would like more control and the ability to customize my sites further. One thing we've done along those lines is add the WordPress plugin so that if you want to build all your own stuff and give and have a key so that a developer can integrate the KV Core or database with your WordPress site, that's available. Agent Spark Sites takes it a step further, and Diego's going to explain that now. I had your screen for a minute, but it went away.
Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to make sure that I get the right monitor.
Cool.
There we go. Here we go. Can you guys see KV Core?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Okay, so let me just show you what we're working on. This is still in the beta phase. In fact, just before this meeting, I was going through with one of our beta users, and we set up his Spark site. Between all the talking that went on and the training that was involved as well, in the moment, it took us about half an hour to get his site up and rolling. Honestly, if once you know what you're doing, these take about 5 to 10 minutes to fully set up. They're not fully customizable WordPress sites, so I do want to put that caveat out there. This is hopefully hitting that niche that's looking for a WordPress site and all that WordPress has to offer, but doesn't necessarily have the checkbook or the time to go in and contract out a third-party vendor to build their WordPress site. So this allows any person at any technical level to go in, access a WordPress site for a killer price. So once again, this is still in beta. So if the text doesn't look just right, I mean, forgive us. It'll be all nice and pretty when we do launch it. We have a sales video here that you can play. It kind of gives you a little walkthrough of why you'd want Agent Fire Spark sites. We also just got a training video from them that we'll be adding here. We'll have training courses on this, so there'll be a lot of information around the Spark site and how to set it up on our end as well as on Agent Fire's end. We want to make agents and teams successful, but I just kind of want to show you what that looks like. So we're going to hit Add to KV Core. At this point, you'll be placed in a sign up form. You have two options, like you typically do with our website add-ons. You have a subdomain option, which is totally free, and you don't have to purchase the domain, through a vendor like GoDaddy or anything like that. Or you have the option to go and if you already have a domain, you can set up a vanity domain, and that should all be done beforehand. So if we just take the second option, we go in. Let's say that we're making a site for Ryan. We go Ryan, and then we select a domain, and this is a demo account, so I have a ton of domains, but so here we go. So our new domain is ryan.testdomain.com. I'm signed in currently in KV Core as a company admin, so that gives me the ability, when I choose who this site is for, I can select either myself as the company admin. I could build a company Spark site. I could also build a office website or any team sites, as well as any agents within my account. So that is one of the really cool things. We've set up it so that an admin of a team or an admin of an office can go in and they can create sites for anyone within their scope. So I actually have to select someone. So let's just choose one of our QA testers, Garrett. At this point, you select a Agent Fire password. We are linked to their terms and conditions, so if you want to read that, you do have to agree to that. At that point, you have your billing information. I'll skip this piece because I've already got it all queued up and ready for us. We've created a site. Now, here's what's really cool. Those of you who are familiar with the website's table of KV Core, this is typically what it looks like, right? We have this edit button. So if I go in and I'm like, oh, I want to edit, sam.kvcoredemo.com, I go in here and I click edit. It's a little bit different with WordPress sites. What we've done is we've built an SSO straight into Spark site. So after you've built your site and you want to go in and edit it, even if it's 2 or 3 months down the road, you come into the websites table, you find your site, and you go, okay, here, this is the one that I want to do. Go to Spark site. Great. Okay. So this one hasn't been set up at all, so I can kind of walk you through some of the quick things. It honestly is really cool. The greatest piece about the WordPress sites is that we have this left-hand side that dynamically updates as we make changes to it here on the right. You can go in, you create a text logo. Let's say that, Ryan Realty. And then we can choose an accent color. If you have the hash, you can go and select it there. Let's just pick a nice bright color. There we go. You can go in, you can change your navigation. So if you just watch for a second here, I'm going to make a couple changes, and you'll watch it change as I select different options for the navigation style.
Nice.
There we go.
Yeah.
You have different footers that you can change. You can change the font. You can change, is it uppercase, is it lowercase, is it all capitalized? There's a lot that you can do here on buttons. You'll notice here, just watch this button for a second. I can change it to a pill or rounded, which is my personal favorite. I hit next step. Now I can change my header right here. You have 3 options that you can select from. This is my personal favorite. It doesn't have to be the one that you end up choosing. It just gives you your area pages that you work right up at the top, ready to go. We click featured areas. You can kind of choose your layout here. In your layout, you'll watch it change down here on the left. This one's a little more video heavy, as is this one. So once again, you essentially get a pick between 2 to 3 to 4 different templates that fit you best as you make these changes. I'm not going through all the different things. So we got Ryan. We got, is it 2 T's, Ryan? No, I think it's 1.
Yeah, it's okay.
We'll just give it a phone number. See if that's a valid one. Yeah, okay.
So,
Great. Go ahead.
so the idea here, for those not familiar with WordPress, is WordPress gives you a lot of flexibility under the hood. Now, this is kind of the mid ground between having a totally self-hosted WordPress site, and, that requires a lot of technical know-how, and sort of something with a lot of features, but kind of like training wheels, right? Diego makes it easy.
Yeah, totally. This is very much a training wheels. And so if you're not tech savvy, and the other thing is with WordPress, you kind of have 2 options. Either you build it yourself, which is totally fine. But even I myself, I couldn't build my own WordPress site. So I probably would contract out with a with another vendor, and it can get pricey. It can get extremely pricey. And so this really just gives you the ability to have that WordPress feel, to have that WordPress control, without having to be tech savvy or have deep pockets. So
Yep.
I do want to show you one other thing. So we have this area guides piece. Now this is something extremely special to Spark sites. I think that it's a huge value add. We have glimpses of it on the KV Core templated sites, but this is huge. So if I just toss in, like, I don't know, I'm from Los Angeles, so I'll just pick Santa Clarita, which is a really beautiful spot. Hit next step. I'm going to launch my Spark site. Now check this out. Let me do this. I'm actually gonna hack my, okay, here we go. So this is my site that I just built, right? Here's that one area page. Once again, if I had all the area pages, it'd look a lot better, but I just want to show you what this does. So first off, you get a map that shows that area. The next thing that it does is it pulls in a ton of information, that things like restaurants on Yelp. It pulls in what's the average selling price in 90 days. It pulls in all the area data here into your page. It's constantly being updated. You have crime rates versus the national average, population growth, healthcare, schools, and this is where Yelp gets pulled in. You get some of the top restaurants in the area. So this is a huge value add, in my opinion, that comes specifically from Agent Fire. So this is also, in my opinion, one of the other huge selling points to the Spark sites. The other top thing is you automatically have the KV Core WordPress plugin built into this, into the cost, and it's automatically set up. You don't have to manually enter it. Literally by clicking the submit button on the sign up form, it's all done for you and ready to go. So it honestly, this is such a powerful machine. One of the other things that I'll mention is if you want to customize your call to actions, SparkSite does that here. You can go into your engage column, and you have all your call to actions. You can add a new one. You can specify the action that triggers the call to action, scrolling down, clicking on a button. So those are kind of the things that I wanted to mention, of the value that comes with these Spark sites.
So, and that was one of the big things I wanted to point out. Is there a live site? I know some of our bigger, are you allowed to show, or would they rather not have that shared? Do we have an example of a live site?
I don't have one. I can reach out to Luke at Agent Fire and see if we do have one that they could go and play around in.
I'll provide a link to a replay. Yeah, I just want to show a front end site like that's live out there on the web, and an Agent Fire site, and point out. I know they have some additional lead generation stuff like hello bars and things of that nature.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me try and find one that we're able to share. I know a couple. I just don't know that I'm allowed to share them.
Yeah, so some of the clients might not want us featuring them. I understand. Yeah, and it also causes problem too, because everybody watching this will start opting in every time, to see how the site works. All right, that's great. So guys, Agent Spark sites on the horizon. If you want a WordPress site with a lot of design functionality, but everything's point and click simple, it's going to be there. And as somebody who's used WordPress heavily myself, I can see the benefit from an SEO perspective, from a lead generation and capture perspective. You're just kind of able to bend WordPress more than you might be with a big platform like KV Core, that where everything's kind of standardized, you know. So it gives you that middle ground there. I'll take back control. Here we go. Okay, next thing I was hoping to briefly bring up is the team add-on. I get questions about that sometimes, Diego. We don't need to talk too long about this, but in a nutshell, I don't think a lot of people know that you can have your own version of KV Core for your team, like that lives inside of your brokerage, but it's kind of your own thing, right? Is that a right way to explain that?
Yeah, that's very much the right way to explain it. I'm actually not a professional on teams. This was kind of built in a silo that I wasn't a part of.
Okay.
And so I don't know that I'm the best person to speak to that. I know that Ken very well could talk through the benefits of the team add-on.
We'll just leave it at that. There's a big advantage there. I know that a lot of teams, you know, your brokerage might have KV Core, but you might have a Boomtown or you know, some other competitor, Commissions Inc. site. You might be paying $1,500, $1,000 a month to have your own thing going on. You can get the same exact thing here with KV Core that kind of lives within your brokerage's infrastructure, but is yours as standalone, the database and everything. You can take it with you if you leave that company. You know, like if you leave that company in a few years, you still have it all self-contained at a fraction of the price that you might be paying one of those competitors. So I just wanted to mention that is sitting there in the marketplace as an option. I get a lot of questions, Diego, about the smart number add-on and
Yes.
custom domains.
Yeah. So the smart number add-on is huge. It allows you to be able to own your own smart number, establish some very, very specific lead routing rules, and you can market it on your site without having to share it with other people in your office or in your team. So
can you build text codes off that, or is this something different?
Oh yeah, you can definitely build text codes off of it.
Right. So you get your own number. You can probably choose the area code. I know some people are at brokerages where the brokerage is maybe in the whole state, and then the first 3 digits of the number is like in a market that's not similar to yours, and it can be problematic.
Right.
With the smart number, I assume they can choose kind of the area code.
Yes, I'm almost positive that if you hit add to KV Core, it'll ask you what the area code is.
Gotcha. Yeah. So just know that you can have your own smart numbers there. Yeah, preferred.
Primary preferred, and then your secondary preferred.
Okay. And smart numbers are something probably they're very underutilized in my opinion. I've done a few webinars about text codes, but I mean, if you want real phone number leads, this is something to really dig in on. We'll probably do another webinar about, you know, that text functionality here soon.
Yeah.
Yep. So, and then the vanity domain add-on is another common one, basically where you have your own URL, right?
Yeah. If you've gone in and you've purchased I'm trying to think. Hold up. I think the vanity domain we actually purchased for you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd have to double check on that one. I think that if you click on add to KV Core. Tossing all this stuff, requested vanity domain. Yeah, so so in this case, what we'll do is we'll go in and we'll set the whole thing up for you. So you will need a domain registrar, username and password, and we'll go in and we'll set up everything for you. So if you don't want to have to go through the whole DNS setup and things like that, if that stuff kind of intimidates you, we'll go through and we'll do the whole setup on the vanity domain.
Yeah, and kind of what we're talking about is a scenario where you have like a subdomain for, it's your name dot company name is the URL you're using.
Yeah.
If you want something that's a little more marketing friendly, that'll fit on your business cards, something like that, just know that that's possible to do through Marketplace.
Yeah, if I wanted something like, my last name, ibarrarealty.com, and I want to go in and purchase that domain, I can do that there. I do want to highlight the vanity domain against the templated website add-on. This is another really, really awesome tool that allows you to go and provision an additional templated website. One of the reasons that we came out with this is we had some requests of people wanting to go in and create very specific specific area targeted websites. And this kind of gives you the ability to go in and say, okay, hey, look, I live in Los Angeles, but that's a pretty big area, and I want to hit, Santa Clarita, and I want to hit Valencia, totally separately, and I want different websites there. This gives you the ability to go in and create an additional website that it looks exactly like your current, agent website, but it gives you the ability to market to one or the other.
I got you. So, okay. All right. So if you're operating in multiple markets, you would have like St. Pete, Florida, realestate.com, and then everything that is on that site, all the widgets and stuff, you can configure to be more locally focused. So
That's, yep.
the
Yep.
blog would kind of live on its own. All your content would be separate than if you have another team that's like 100 miles away. And,
Right. And now I will bring up the one thing. So like search alerts, however, search alerts within your user will only go out to one website. And so you want to set it up in such a way that you have one website that kind of hits all of the areas, and then this templated website would be a very niche market, but the search alerts will go out from the broader website. Does that make sense?
yep. Okay. So there's something to consider.
Yeah, so it is something to consider, and one of the things that is just a constraint with how it's been built.
Gotcha. Now, down at the bottom here, we have some of our transaction stuff. There's the DocuSign. Do you just want to talk about some of these things? I personally have very little clue, haven't used any of this, so I want to hear it myself.
Yeah, so these transaction tiles really should only be used if you are already currently a customer with DocuSign or SkySlope or dotloop. And if you want to hook up your transactions, then that you have there to KV Core, so they're displayed, that's where you would show them. You would go in, you'd click get this, like in dotloop's case, and it will open up a so SkySlope, if you hit add to KV Core, it'll open up SkySlope's. Yeah, there you go. Enter in your email and password, and then you'll sync your account that way.
Cool. Okay, and then you can sync dotloop. I have a question about the transaction stuff. Is that fed into Business Analytics?
It's not. It's actually a hidden field right now. So in your left tab, if you have a transaction system synced to KV Core, you'll see transactions. I think it's between the lead engine and Web and IDX. But if you're in an account that isn't synced up, then you won't see it.
Okay. Cool. So you can bring your transactions in through those add-ons. That's cool. And the DocuSign documents, too.
I'm not totally sure about the documents, how that pulls in, but it does pull in the transaction record.
Great. Okay, Diego, I mean, that helped. I don't know, is there anything I'm missing here? We just kind of wanted to get this down and recorded, give everybody a tour of what's going on in this dashboard so they know what they have access to.
If I can add, there are certain parameters for specific access for some of these products. So it is important to notate that I think some of these might be admin broker access as opposed to just agent, like with SkySlope.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. And we actually have we're making a change because we came across this with syncing up CirclePix and BrokerSumo accounts, which, just to toss in a little flag there, those are right around the corner. We're gonna be able to sync up your BrokerSumo and CirclePix accounts here, and another time we can probably discuss what does that entail. But that will be a tile here, and that will be visible to admins only. And so for dotloop and SkySlope, we'll probably take similar action to where we only have admins who are able to go and see those. So we will, especially as we're building out this marketplace page, we'll be getting a little more sensitive as to who sees what tiles.
Gotcha.
So
cool. Does anybody listening have any questions? I know this is a little departure from our usually content where we're teaching around the specific subject, but I hope you found this at least useful. You can tell other people at your company that these options are available. If you have anything you'd like to see, KV Core, even conversion, if you'd like to see anything you'd like to see integrated with our platforms, Diego is a guy who's on the front lines of that. I am sometimes can talk, so just don't be shy. Bring them up now. Email. Is there an email, Diego? Should they just email support and let us know they want to see something?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to take their email. If you want to take their email and just forward it to me, I'm happy either way.
Yep.
Annalise sends me a couple each month that I end up going and reviewing, and we vet to figure out what the benefit of bringing it in is.
Yeah, great.
I did.
So go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, I did want to point out, I know we spoke to a bit about the custom domain, like the vanity domain for the KV Core. If there's K Plus users out there, you can definitely pop over to GoDaddy or, purchase that domain from a third party of your choice, and then you can forward that domain to your K Plus website. So you have the same type of vanity domain available, just not via the marketplace. So I want to make sure you can still connect it, just a little bit of a different way.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, not a lot of questions today. Anybody have anything, whether it's related to the marketplace or not, we're here live with you. If you have a question about anything that's going on in the Facebook group, we'll hang out here for a minute and let you do it. Diego, thanks. That helped me understand a little bit, about what's going on. I think those Spark sites, once people can see, and I'll try to get an example in the doc, once they can see those and touch them firsthand, there's going to be a lot more excitement around them.
Yeah,
because they're really cool.
I would like to toss in any feedback that you have on the marketplace. I'm extremely interested in it. We're hoping to build this out to be a page that is extremely beneficial for you. We'll be actually introducing quite a few new tiles that will appear as SSO requests. So if you have a vendor that we already have an SSO built out, you can go and sync it up that way. And so that will also live here on the marketplace. And so like I said, if you ever have any comments as to the marketplace, we're always happy to take it and make this a better experience for you. I do want to say one other thing. If you exit out of this testimonial tree details.
Yeah, we had a question, and as you brought up SSO, it kind of came up. Somebody asked what testimonial tree was, but
what was the question?
Oh, what is testimonial tree?
So testimonial tree is a vendor, and what they do is they will house all of your testimonials. I don't know if they go out and actually request testimonials from your leads. I'm not totally positive with that end of their business, but what we'll do is we'll take all the testimonials that are there in testimonial tree, and we'll display them in your KV Core or on your KV Core website.
Perfect. Yep. Cool. So you just enter your username and password, and that starts to happen.
Yep. So that's another case of if you are already a client over there, you can sync it.
Cool. And you were saying something else? Sorry to cut you off there.
Yeah. If you scroll up, you'll notice there's quite a few tiles here. A little bit further, we have a search bar. So if you just type in, I don't know, Facebook seller advertising.
Right.
There you go.
Yep.
It'll sort it out. So if you ever like, hey, I can't seem to find a tile, just toss it in the search bar. We also have this category section up on the top right. And this will allow you to only see specific categories. Like, hey, I only want to see tiles that relate to websites. So, there you go. And we'll continue to build out that. So I just want to let you know that we are thinking about how can we make this easy to find, how can we make this easily sortable, and just make it a great way for you to find the add-ons and enhancements that you need to really make KV Core run for your business.
Yeah, and again, don't be shy. If there's something you use every day that you want to see integrated, we'll listen and try to get it done. There was a question about the Agent Spark sites and the DIY WordPress. The WordPress token, if you're going to do everything yourself, I think is $69. Is that right, Diego?
It's $60 a month. Yeah.
Okay. And then the Agent Spark site.
That doesn't include the WordPress site. All we're doing at that point is we are generating an IDX token that you have to go in and put into your WordPress site on your own.
Gotcha. Yeah. And then with the Spark sites, it'll be. Do you have pricing on that yet?
Yeah, it's $120 a month, and that will include the WordPress token.
Great. So basically, another 60 gets you the whole site designed with all the bells and whistles that Agent Fire gives you, which I've seen are plentiful. Diego shows.
There's for sure. And I didn't even go over most of them. There's quite a bit more.
Cool. And when will that be ready? Is it like the next few weeks, the next month?
Yeah, I would expect it within weeks. We're in the beta phase right now. We have one more demo that we'll do today. We want to make sure that everything runs smoothly, and I imagine, end of the week or early next week, we have this available for everyone.
Excellent. Another question we had, I might be able to do it. What is the current radius used in Facebook Property Boost? I think it's a mile or two. Do I have that right, Diego?
Let me think. I want to say it's 15.
Oh, it's still 15 now.
Yeah, I think it's 15 now.
Okay. Yeah, so it gives you a nice mix. The 15 miles, yeah. So 15 miles is the answer for now. If it's different, Dennis, I'll let you know. Somebody that's
Yeah. I'll check into that. I was just talking about it the other day to one of our engineers, and I'm pretty sure it's 15.
Gotcha. Lawrence is asking, can he use his own WordPress and program to work with KV Core without a monthly fee? You're gonna, in order to embed the IDX, so to speak, or tightly integrate with the WordPress plugin, it's at $60. There are some things you can do though without a fee, and that would involve the embeds themselves, where you can embed the seller, like the seller value widget, right, Diego, and some of the other embeds that are available. You can put them on your WordPress site. Which might be a nice, if you don't really have the budget or don't feel it's necessary, a nice kind of middle ground there. If I go to widgets up here under web and IDX, I think, am I going to, Annalisa, do I have this right?
I'm sorry, I was looking something else up and looked away from it. What were you seeking again?
I know what it is. I clicked the wrong thing. So the embeds that you can embed on a site. So if you don't want to pay for the WordPress plugin, but you have a WordPress site and you kind of want to get some stuff integrated, you can actually embed the property search like this. And then what will happen is when people do the search, it'll kick them over to your KV Core or Conversion Plus site. So those options are there. Cool. So yeah, some people said they couldn't hear us. I hope it seemed like some could, some couldn't. We apologize. We'll definitely get this replay out. So if you had any difficulties, it'll be in the replays. All of our replays are available in the YouTube playlist. It's i.insiderealestate.com/webinars. If there are no more questions, Diego, thank you. that was good.
No. Thanks for the invite. Great.
Yep. And we'll definitely get more details out about Agent Fire in particular over the next week or two as it's launched. And Annalisa, did you have anything else?
I didn't. The document was linked into the group, and like Ryan said, we pepper these recordings pretty much everywhere. We're looking at carrier pigeons, so we'll see what happens with that. So that's all I've got.
Great. We'll see you guys again Thursday. I'll knock out Lawrence's question. No, we create the ad for you. If you do Facebook buyer leads, the advertising department will make the ad for you. It's meant to be push button. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
See you every Thursday.